Hey everybody, welcome back to Grain Markets and Other Stuff. Thank you for joining me. It's a gorgeous day in January here in Tennessee. It's 66 degrees and sunny. I made a very poor decision and came to the gym today. I should be on the lake. Fishing is where I should be, but it's just something I'll have to live with. Thank you for coming back. Remember guys, if you like these videos, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. It will really help me out in regard to YouTube and the algorithms, all that sort of good stuff. Remember tomorrow, which is Wednesday, January 27th, I'm doing a live stream at 12 o'clock Central Time with Ed Ussett from University of Minnesota. That should be a really good conversation. Wanted to spend just a couple of minutes to explain why I went ahead and deleted all of the social media apps from my phone. Today on a whim, I deleted the Facebook app, I deleted the Instagram app, I deleted the Twitter app. I did keep the YouTube app just so I could upload stuff like this, but those first three are not on my phone anymore. I did keep the accounts, and I'll explain why here in a second. The first reason I decided to do this was screen time. You got to remember, in my line of work, what do? Okay, I do commodity brokerage, I do consulting, I write a newsletter. I spend on any given work day 8 to 10 hours per day in front of a computer screen. I think that in itself is excessive, and I think that any time in addition to that is just beyond excessive and ridiculous. So I think that during the work day, I get enough screen time. I don't need to be glued to Facebook or Twitter outside of work. And for me, my work day is 5 a.m. until the grain markets close. Typically, some days it's a little bit longer than that. I used to work much longer hours back in the day, but not so much anymore. And keep in mind, I've been doing this 8 to 10 hour a day deal in front of computer screens for 15 years now, and I'm not even that old. I've got decades to go in this business probably. Sitting in front of a computer screen all day is terrible for your health. And I know, woe is me, right? The guy who works inside all winter. But in all seriousness, I've got neck problems, I've got back problems. If you do this long enough, you're going to develop things like carpal tunnel, like all sorts of nasty stuff. And every job has its downsides in regard to health. You know, people who swing a hammer for a living, I mean, they're going to have their own sorts of issues, but there's no such thing as an easy job physically. And I'm not saying that my job's physically demanding. I'm just saying that being in front of a screen all day is absolutely terrible for you. And I know from experience. So that's the first reason. I get enough time in front of the screens. Second reason is value. I just don't know that these apps, really provide enough value to me to justify being on them outside of that work day. I still have a Facebook account. I still have a Twitter account. I'm not going to delete them, but I did delete the apps from my phone. And in terms of value, to go app by app, YouTube I think is the most valuable to me, at least. You can learn a lot on YouTube. You can kind of customize it to how you want it to work. If you need some sort of fix for something in particular, like we had an issue with our dishwasher the other night, and I could go on YouTube and find that particular brand and model and figure out what the issue was. It's really a great resource in regard to that. Maybe you guys find stuff like this, like, market commentary. Maybe you find that to be useful. I just think that there's a lot of educational type stuff on there that can be good, that can be beneficial. Facebook is becoming less useful to me. As you grow older, you get a little bit disconnected from people of the past, I guess. And I see so much stuff from people that I haven't talked to in 5 to 10 years. And it's just kind of monotonous, and I feel like it doesn't really add any value for me. The people that I am actually friends with and my family and those sorts of people, I mean, I know what's going on. I talk to those people. I don't need Facebook for that. But am I going to check in from time to time? Sure. But I think in regard to like outside of work, mobily, do I need to be tied into that 24 hours a day? No, I don't. I could speak volumes about Twitter and ag Twitter in particular, and the flaws and the pros and the cons and all that stuff. Here's my 2 cents about ag Twitter. I just think that the good information is few and far between. I feel like I've got to sift through a lot of junk to find any sort of information that's actually good. There are a few people that I follow on Twitter that are fantastic people to follow. There are other people that are just not so great, and you've got to sift through the junk to find the good stuff, I guess. And I mean, will I spend some time on Twitter during the workday? I guess I will. I'm still going to post my videos and maybe a chart from time to time or whatever. But in terms of like getting into conversations with people on Twitter these days, it's just an exercise in futility. You're never going to change anybody's mind. Everybody's opinion's already made up. I just don't know that you can really convey a thought in 140 characters or whatever the limit is these days. So Twitter, I'll look at it during work. I've really reduced my Twitter usage as of late anyways. Maybe for some of you it's a great resource in regard to the markets. For me, it's really not. I get a lot more out of news wires, looking at USDA data, looking at charts, all that sort of stuff. Twitter's not really doing it for me in terms of like being an informational market tool. It's largely opinions. A lot of it is people who are involved in ag markets that are talking about things totally unrelated to ag markets. The political stuff can be monotonous and exhaustive. So I'm really just not that interested anymore, to be honest. So long story short, this stuff's going to be gone from my phone. I'm not going to carry it around in my pocket anymore. Am I going to look at it during my 8 to 10 hours a day at work? Yeah, I probably will a little bit. But in terms of just being on it mobily, whether I'm out anywhere outside of work, I just don't know that the value's there. Am I going to answer text messages? Am I going to check emails? Yeah, I'll do that. That's necessary for what I do. But aside from that, no, I'm going to be out for a little while and see how it works out. If you guys have done this, let me know. Let me know your experience. If you've tried to reduce your use of this stuff, let me know. Let me know your experience. Drop a comment in the video here. If you think this is a terrible idea and that I need to be tied in and wired in 24/7, I'd like to know why, certainly. Remember, guys, live stream tomorrow. I hope everyone has a nice day. Have fun with the snow up north. I don't miss that 1 minute. Never have. I haven't even shoveled snow since I've lived here. I brought a snow shovel down, sold my snowblower before I moved. But have fun with that, guys. You can keep it. We'll talk to you a little bit later.